Hi, I'm Brian King Joseph.
And I'm Kimmy Tan, and
these are our tattoos.
My favorite tattoo that he has? I don't know. I have the rest of my life to find out, but I think I like these deck of cards the best because you can see the king first, and his name is King, so
it's my winning hand.
I like it.
Myself. Okay, so it's not so deep. Obviously, King is my favorite word and card because it's my name. But this was a time I was actually really into poker at the time, and you were training in New York. So I went to New York, I went to her shop, and I got these cards because I really felt like this was 3 years ago. I was like, this is my time. This is my hand. I'm getting it. I'm gonna win. So I got the royal flush, because royalty. And I think the cards played themselves out.
So plus when you twist it a little bit, it reveals the ace in the hole.
That's right.
Which is my favorite part.
That actually is my favorite part too. I almost forgot. You can't forget about the ace in the hole.
I designed it specifically that way, so you wouldn't be able to see the ace when you just look at him, but when you turn it, it's like,
Always got the plan, always got the backup. So on the day, she has so many good ones that I love, but this one will always stick out to me. This crazy elipus or octophant, I guess I would call it, which is a elephant with octopus tentacles. I remember you having this the first day we met, and I looked at it and I was like, that is literally the coolest. If this animal existed, I'd want to hang out with it. I'd want to pet it on its crazy squintacles.
Squintacles.
Which are tentacles from a squid. Squintacles.
One day I was just drawing and I was really, really bored, and I was thinking, what two animals could I possibly lump together? And I love elephants, I love octopus. And so yeah, I literally just doodled it in less than a day, and I got it tattooed that same day.
Crazy.
I'm pretty sure I just turned 18 or something, and I was so excited. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna be covered one day. So let me just start the process right now.
Do you know how crazy it is that you designed that yourself? I think that's insane. I mean, most people just go and they're like me. I'm just like, yeah, man, draw me something cool. You're the one of the ones you walk in. You're like, I drew this, put it on me. That's insane.
It was a different time before I met you. You didn't have very many good choices.
Yeah. You gotta say it.
This is difficult. Okay. My least favorite tattoo on Brian is probably certain parts of this one that he got before he met me. He told me the story about how he got this one, and it didn't really sound like he put much thought into it, and apparently the tattoo artist got fired the next day after he got this tattoo.
Okay, yeah.
There's certain things I change. It's not a bad tattoo. There's just certain things I do a little differently from No shade.
Thanks. Look, it was April 25th, my 18th birthday. I played by the rules. I'd wanted a tattoo for so long. This is my first tattoo, okay? Find me somebody out there who doesn't have a first tattoo story that went a little wrong, maybe. So I went into my local shop when I was 18 years old. I was just about to go on tour with my first band. I was like, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm gonna be on stage when I have that tattoo. I'm gonna be a badass rocker. So I went and I got this tattoo. It was one of the album covers of one of my favorite albums at the time, Circa Survive, shout out Anthony Green. So I got this tattoo, but the problem is, and I will give a lesson to everybody out there getting your first tattoo, save your money. Save your money. I only had about 150 bucks for this tattoo. I show up and the guy's like, I'm not gonna do that for 150 bucks. I had no idea what the etiquette was, so I kind of talked to this guy, squeezed it out with him. I was like, look, man, I'll give you everything. I got my savings now, and just give me this tattoo. So he gives me a super good deal, but I don't think he took the most time on it. So I kind of end up with this.
It's not bad.
I don't think it's bad. To me, it's my first tattoo.
Right.
And I'm proud of myself for going and getting that and being a complete noob, but it's definitely a lesson to me. Number one, pay for your tattoos so your artist will take your time and give you a very good tattoo. Also, don't get a tattoo right before you go on a summer beach tour because it will not heal the greatest. And that's my first bad tattoo story and hopefully my last. Oh man, see, it's so unfair. Like, she doesn't have any bad tattoos actually.
Oh, you know you.
Okay, my least favorite. I'm trying to figure this out.
I hate it.
I don't mind it. She has a star on her back. She's not a fan
Terrible.
of it. I mean, if
Classic.
I really had to say, like, there's not, even though there's a lot, you have a lot of tattoos, there's not much to pick from.
I got finger tattoos too.
You do have finger tattoos. I feel like I'm calling out, like I'm trying. And it's not cause she's my girlfriend, it's not cause we're dating. Like, after what she just said to me, like I'm like, let me get her. But honestly, I love her tattoos, man. I really don't think there's a least favorite one I have. They're all so good. I wish I had like the foresight and the way you see things to put on your body. I wish I had that ability. But that's why I'm dating her, so haha. Best of both worlds.
I think I was about 4 years old or something, and I went to get my ears pierced just like for the first time, and I saw this woman and she had like dragon tattoos all over her arms and her back and her chest, and I remember thinking like, that is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life. So ever since I saw her when I was 4, I was like, I'm definitely gonna get a tattoo someday, definitely. So when I was 14 years old, I was a little rebellious kid, and I decided to cut school one day and just go get tattoos. Even though I was 14 at the time, the shop just let me get tattoos because, you know, I brought money, so I was like, do it.
Was this in America?
Yes.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I'm not going to say
Some shop out there.
the name of the shop or anything. Like, looking back, it was a terrible, that should have never happened. But I mean, at the time, it was so exciting, and I was like, yes, you know, I thought of this on the fly, and it's this one right here. I got this little music note, and I really wanted, you know, something that meant a lot to me. I know. I laugh at myself now, but I knew that I wouldn't regret it because it was going to be, you know, something that meant a lot to me, music, and, you know, all of that. So I didn't really have to think twice about it. I just knew I wanted to get it. I just went ahead and got it, and I wouldn't say I don't look back, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna look back. I don't think I look back. It's a really fond memory, and yeah, it's a good little reminder not to be a little rebellious little teen anymore.
Can I say one thing? One thing I love about you, even though, like, because disclaimer, I think we all know, like, one of the rules is like, yo, before you're 18, you shouldn't go out and get a tattoo. However, what I always have loved about your tattoos, every single one has been done in the shop. There's been no question. Like, you may have been 14, but you went to a shop, so I say kudos for you for having all these professional looking tattoos and not a single, you know, scratch mark on you. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
I grew up idolizing the 80s. You know, people will, not the 80s as a decade, but musically, rock and roll, man. I grew up reading books and watching performances by Jimi Hendrix, the Stones, Metallica, and to see these amazing legends of music and rock, and to me, in those times, music was something, and musicians were something we looked up to as almost gods, you know, and to see these guys out there define what that really meant, and instead of trying to be so self-righteous, and they would come out inked up and just ready to rock and roll, and you could see it on their arms, and everything was a description of what they had been through. It helped you see where they had come from and where they were going. So to me, being a little boy in America whose parents immigrated here, and you know, I didn't really know where my place was, to see that, to me, that was a coat of arms. And ever since I was a little kid, so seeing these rock stars, and that's really what it was, seeing these rockers, man,
yeah.
Seeing Slash get up there, and seeing Nikki Sixx and the rockers of that generation get up there and be solely tatted up, and to realize that, you know, these guys are art canvases, and I want to be part of that movement. So ever since I was young, I've always known, yo, that's gonna be me. It's, you know, I've just been adding ever since, and, you know, like you know what they say when you're dating your tattoo artist, you know.
You don't get tattooed.
You don't
when
get
you
tattooed.
The way to make
I have
sure
a lot of unfinished, but yeah.
The way to make sure you never get tattooed again is to start dating your tattoo artist.
Facts.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we both have portraits of our old kitty. His name is Ziggy.
Ziggy.
And we actually got his ashes mixed in with all the orange and brown ink.
Yep.
So he's with us forever and ever and ever.
We lost him in a really like tragic and sudden way, and I think it was really hard for both of us to go through. But having him here
With us all the time.
it truly feels it's just so comforting and very healing. Whenever I do miss him, I feel like I just touched a spot and it really feels like you're touching him. So this is one of our most important tattoos. I have his name right here under him. This was the first photo we ever took of him on her.
And this is the last photo
Yeah.
ever taken of him.
So,
Coincidentally too, we didn't pick that, but
Ziggy lives on.
forever.
Yeah. Well, yo, you know you gotta color this in, right? Yo, this has been unfinished since about maybe 4 months before AGT this year.
Yeah, it's been so long.
I got so busy and then there was no time. This is a violin with a skull on my, so this is my violin holding hand, and this is my bow hand. And so together, I've got the whole thing. So, and it's like a bow and arrow because I can shoot it, so yeah. This is supposed to be next.
Yep.
Right? We're supposed to finish this.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what's next for you? What are you gonna do?
Honestly, right now, I really don't know. For now, I'm just kind of focusing on saving some space and, you know, seeking out the artists that I've been dying to get tattooed by and just letting them kind of like do whatever maybe. Or I just want to know, I want to save some space for now because I know I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger. Okay, no, let me take that back. Not mistakes. I probably would have done a few things differently arrangement-wise. So I'm really looking to, you know, find an artist that I really like and to get them to do their thing, you know?
See, I get that though. That's tattooing, right? Like, especially for like me as a guy, I'm like, man, I love my tattoos on my arm, but like, then you're like, man, I would love to go get like a full sleeve right now, and you realize like, okay, but it can never technically be a full sleeve from one artist. So, I mean, that's the game, though.
It's kind of the beauty of tattoos. You get to build upon your life. You know what I mean? It's like a collection.
I will say one thing, though. Okay, one day, I've talked to her about this. One day, all this right here, this is gonna be a whole thing. Okay, just
when the time
all
is
that. But yeah.